Well, we're out fishing again on this beautiful morning down here in Cornwall. Targets today is we're going to try and get amongst an elusive Cornish thornback ray. We're down on a Cornish estuary, beautiful morning, lots of bait round. We've had loads of dolphins swimming around already. I've tried to catch some fresh bait amongst them, nothing too much. I reckon that they're just sardines, but yeah, the rod's been in the water for a while, relentlessly casting, the dogfish straight on it at the minute, so hopefully at some point we can get amongst them and get ourselves a nice prime Cornish thornback ray. This time of year, later autumn into winter, you can find some really nice coloured thornback rays up at these Cornish estuaries, really rich, really deep markings in them, so hopefully I'll be able to show you one of those throughout the session.
You've got a bite on the right rod, boy.
What? What, braid rod?
Yeah.
As we speak, we've got, well, I'm just going to slacken off there. Okay, so I'm going to talk some end tackle. Alright, so from my mono shock leader there, just got a little like quick clip there. That's, yeah, like, especially when I'm like competition fishing, I always have a spare rig set up and baited up, because then as soon as I'm in, I can go straight back out with a fresh bait. This is one thing that I've learned from being on the boat all the time, is that you can work the fish to you. It was a bit of a misconception that I had when I was shore fishing for so many years as a junior. I was more so searching and hunting with baits, casting, you know, loads of different places throughout a session. Whereas nowadays I come much from the perspective of I will keep casting in the same spot with a lot of fresh baits regularly, bringing the scent and using the tide, taking the scent and bringing the fish to me. Sometimes positioning my baits up tide of a structure or a piece of ground or whatever, to get that scent over it and drag the fish to you, where they're a little bit more reliable to feed, and also where your rig will sit nicer or not snag up so much. So I've got a quick clip here, and today I'm fishing a long pulley. This one's actually not too long. I think I've just cut it down because I had a fish on it, but yeah, normally I'd fish a long pulley. This is still quite long, you know, 3 foot, something like that. The rig end, we have a quick clip here to the mono shock leader. That's so I can change rigs as quick as possible. Sometimes I'll have a spare rig set up. I can just clip that on with a bait, back out, ready to go. If the fish are coming through in droves, especially like smooth hound fishing and stuff like that, always want to keep a bait in the water. So from that, we then have a pulley bead. You can use a pulley bead, or you can use just a swivel and a bead either side of it. It has the same effect. Yeah, these are a little bit of a gimmick, but you know, it does the job. And then you swivel down to your trace. Now, I'm someone that normally goes as light as possible with my trace, so today I'm using a nice quality 30-pound line. There's no real need to go really heavy. And a pair of 2.0 Aberdeen style hooks, wide mouth. Nice strong pattern, should you get a big ray and it's digging in or going along the ledge, they're not going to straighten out. On the other side, the main rig body, I've got some 50-pound line there, equaling my shock leader, and then a clip down clip that will help clip the bait in behind the weight, keep it as aerodynamic as possible. Also helps keep your bait in as good a condition as possible when you cast, and then your lead on there. I'm normally using, depending on tide, 5 to 6 ounces. Sometimes I will drop down if the tide is only a minimal flow. I like to roll the bait around and try and find a gully sometimes, so I might drop down to a 4, but we'll go through and get a bait on now and show you how I bait up. Okay, some might think I'm old school, but whenever I come out fishing, I always bring a chopping board and a good knife. Just saves, you can get such a nice cleaner cut and a cleaner bait rather than, you know, cutting chunks off the mackerel, and you never really get a nice edge to it. So just fill it off that mackerel now. I should know how to do this, I've done it once or twice. There we go. Alright, and normally out of a mackerel I can normally get, if it's a good sized one, like 3 baits I'm looking for. I'll take one off the top here, like that, and then at a slight angle, just like that. And you've got 1, 2, and 3. I'll just take a slight side of that, just so it's not too wide on the cast. So I'll take my bottom hook, start up by the top, normally just a little bit more than a hook length down, because what I want to do is I want to pull my eye through the flesh in the mackerel. It just helps it keep it on a little bit. Right, so we'll go in, down through, out through the bottom, and I'll just support it there. Don't be too rough because I don't want to damage the bait. There we go, just pop that through. And what I'll do, oh, I've got a really good bite there. Drag's pulling out. Action shot. I'll try and finish this bait quickly whilst that one gets it down. Oh, pulling more line. So I'll do a few lock-in turns around the top there just to stop the bait elastic sliding, and I'll work my way down. Ooh, that could be a ray, that one, but definitely shot myself in the foot. So I just work myself down equal intervals, nice and neat, get that nice and tight around there, down the bottom, and then I'll work my way back up again in equal intervals all the way up. And this top bit is quite crucial to have a nice solid patch to put your top hook into so it doesn't slip. And then just a little loop through the loop, that's my lock-in loop, so the bait elastic don't come undone on the bait. So as you can see, nice, be aerodynamic, looks good. Isn't going to spin on the cast, and I'll just take my top hook there. Normally perfect thing to do is just line it up just with the top of the bait, take 1, 2, 3 lock-in twists around the hook, and then just pop that through there. And as you can see, that sits perfectly. Sometimes you might need to just put it a little bit straight or whatever, just so it flies nicely on the cast. So I'll clip that to my clip down and get that out there and try and get another fish. Little nose there. Fish on.
What do you reckon?
Not crazy.
Ruff.
Hey, to be fair, that's a big dog. If I was in a competition now, I'd be pretty happy with that. That, definitely a dog, isn't it? It's like a 2.5 pound dog. But it is still a dogfish. On the dog.
Dog on.
Just need to get right now, don't we?
That's the green one.
Curse of the dog. Not it. Another one. Mate, that was out there like 2 seconds. estuaries, really rich, really deep markings in them. So hopefully I'll be able to show you one of those
You
throughout the
got a
session.
bite on the right rod, boy.
What? What, braid rod?
Yeah.
As we speak, we've got a rod. I'm just going to slacken it. Heavy suspects. This is another dogfish.
Big bender.
Do you see anything or not? Ready?
Dog on?
What?
What do you say?
It's a fucker. That. Mate, it's a turbot. Mate, it's a brill. Oh my god. I've never seen a brill up here. What? That is mental. Oh my god. I've seen a few flatfish come up off of these Cornish estuaries, but they are very, very rare. Certainly a turbot or a brill is unheard of. I've only ever seen one turbot caught up here. But, oh my god, insane. What? So, it's flat. It's not what we're after, the thornback ray, but it's arguably a hell of a lot rarer to catch from the shore than a thornback ray. This is in fact a brill. Kind of a common catch, not common, but I see them regularly on the boat, but from the shore, it's super hard to catch one down here in Cornwall, especially in an estuary. Like, I've not even heard of one in an estuary here ever. Super, super cool. Not the biggest of specimens, but super cool to catch. Well, that's the end of the session now. We didn't, unfortunately, get the elusive thornback ray. I stuck my foot in that straight away by calling it elusive at the start of the session. Knew it wasn't going to happen, but we did see that really cool brill. I've never had one from the shore, so that's a really cool catch in my books. I've not really heard of anyone having them from the shore down here either, so that's pretty cool. What else do we have? Loads of dogfish, the classic, of course. But it kept the rod tips busy, kept me putting out fresh baits. Always keeps you a little bit interested as long as those rods are going over. I don't know, we had 15 or so dogfish in the end. So it made something of the session, but the gear's packed down now. Made sure that everything's clean around us. Any scraps of line, any rubbish like that, always take it back with you. And rain's setting now for the afternoon, so we're going to make a move for it.